There's been a suicide car bombing in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. It was detonated near the Interior Ministry and foreign embassies. At least 19 people have been killed and more than 80 injured. Let's cross now to Bilal Sarwari, who has more from the capital. Bilal, what's the latest you're hearing on the attack?
Well, tragically, those numbers have gone very high in the last minute or so. The Health Ministry spokesman, Wahid Majros, confirmed that at least 40 people are confirmed killed and at least 140 people are wounded. This attack took place in the heart of Kabul city on the second checkpoint. The building used to be the Interior Ministry, but they have now moved out. And it's not very far from the Swedish embassy, from the European Union, from the Indonesian embassy, and from an Indian consulate that issues visas to Afghans. Obviously, the attack also took place very close outside of the Jamhuriyat hospital, which was also very crowded with people, with patients, and with relatives. And at this stage, Afghan counterterrorism officials are saying that the attacker was driving an ambulance. He had said that he had a patient, and he was stopped at the second checkpoint. Kabul is a city that is bleeding. Afghans don't feel safe in villages and valleys, on the highways. And in the last year or so, they even don't feel safe in major cities like Kabul. So obviously, a lot of lives lost. You're talking about a lot of breadwinners that are no more there. You're talking about more orphans, more widows. And unfortunately for the people of Afghanistan, now they continue to suffer for generations.
And of course, we had the attack on the Intercontinental Hotel in Kabul just a week ago. Is the country on high alert now, seeing as the Taliban have been behind several attacks in recent weeks?
The country is, in the last 24 hours, we have had at least 3 suicide attacks in southern Afghanistan, 2 since last night in the southern province of Helmand. So there are no shortage of suicide attackers or fighters willing to die, both for Daesh as well as the Taliban. In this case, a Taliban spokesman said that there were no civilians in the area when the attack was launched, but obviously we know now from families and eyewitnesses that a number of those people killed, or most of them, are civilians, people who brought paperwork, people who needed to photocopy some documents. And for the Afghan government and its international allies, this is now beyond an embarrassment. This is an attack that took place not very far from the Counterterrorism Directorate, not very far from the office of the police chief of Kabul that's responsible for the security of this city. And all I can just tell you is you have a lot of angry Afghans going on local TV channels, and the spokesman for the Interior Ministry was just describing this attack as a success, saying that the attacker was stopped in the second checkpoint. So you have 2 very different versions and realities of security. There's the government explanation, and then there's the anger, understandably, from the victims and ordinary Afghans and Kabulis who are heartbroken time and again because of these attacks.